Hello friends, welcome to the month of December. I can't believe it, December is already here. So friends, I'm going to plant some last minute bulbs, and these I got from Lowe's Garden Center. They have their bulbs 50% off, and guess what, it was so hard for me to resist, so I picked up just special ones. Okay, so here we have the Daffodil double mix. They're dairy resistant, great as cut flowers, and I only paid what, $7.50 just for this one. I have different daffodils in my garden, but I do not have the specialty ones. Look at the beautiful double ruffle petals here. It's so pretty, so that's why I'm justifying my purchase here. I just had to give in. So there's 30 bulbs in the bag, and friends, look at the growth coming out from these. They are ready. Yes, so it's really cold. I have my tea ready, I have my gloves on, my winter jacket on, my hat on, and I'm like, you know what, once I can dig a hole, guess what, I'm gonna plant these bulbs and just be done with it, right? So we have a bag of bulbs over here. And oh friends, I really hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Yes, and I hope you're ready for the holiday season coming up. I know everything is crazy. You go shopping, even to the grocery store, there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of lines everywhere. Tis the season, right? But guess what, gardening still continues. Yes. Anyway, and then I found this one, friends, 25 tulips in here, $7.50. Look at this, look how different it is. This one is Angelique and Freeman collection, great as cut flowers, double blooms. Let's see how tall this will get. This is my first time with this one. It says these will get 16 to 18 inches tall. They bloom late spring. They're hardy from zones 2 through 8. It's a plant sun to partial shade. Yes, and these are ready to look at that, friends. Once again, these were from Lowe's Garden Center, 50% off. And as I said to you, I only picked special ones that I do not have, right? And then the daffodils, let's see how tall these will get. These will get 14 to 16 inches tall, and they bloom mid-spring, and they're hardy from zones 2 to 10. So I walked around the garden and I said to myself, where should I put these? So come with me, let me take you over here by my Hostas garden lane, and I'll share with you what I'm gonna do with them. So daffodil naturally naturalizes in the ground, right? So I'm like, let me put them somewhere where they will naturalize. So over here is my Hostas woodlands lane, I call it, and right behind there is the neighbor's side. Don't really want to show too much of that, but when spring is here, summer is here, and fall is here, they have forsythia, friends, and I don't even see the house. Okay, it completely blocks out the two properties. So right now I can see the house because guess what, the forsythia right here, show a little of it, you can see their leaves have fallen. So right now I can see between the neighbors. But my point is, the woodlands area is just for the shade loving plants, and normally with daffodils they do need some sun. You could do full sun to part shade, but when spring comes, the area will look just like this. It will look bare, right? No privacy, and then a lot of sun will come over here in early spring, and then when the forsythia turns yellow and it turns green, then it will completely block the sun out. So that's why I decided to put the daffodils over here, because they do need some type of sun. And I think daffodils, they're a great companion for hosta, believe it or not. Depends on what you plant, because the sun requirement is important. So with these daffodils, friends, so let's go over here. So these are hosta right here. So what's gonna happen is the daffodils gives off this messy foliage, right? Beautiful blooms, but the foliage takes forever to die back in spring, right? So I try not to put daffodils in my normal garden area because I don't want to deal with the unsightly foliage that takes weeks to die back, right? So I'm gonna put them right here around the hosta. This is the hosta, like around the hosta, so that way when the hosta foliage is opening up, guess what, it's gonna hide the daffodil foliage. So that's somewhat of my science behind putting the daffodils over here. And these daffodils, friends, they make great cut flowers. Okay, I love these daffodils. They probably last maybe 3 weeks in a vase, 3 to 4 weeks. I love them in cut flowers. So that's my purpose of selecting this area for the daffodils. So right here I did some daffodils maybe a month ago. I planted some daffodils, and look what I did. I put sticks on here because this ground is very, very loose, so I press it down, do what I normally do, press it down, walk on it, but I still put some sticks on top to deter the squirrels because the squirrels are out. And you can see my bulbs are still intact, so I don't think the squirrels are gonna trouble them anymore. So I'm gonna do the same with these daffodils here, friends, and then we're gonna walk around and see where we're gonna put those tulips. Right, so I don't know where you're at. I'm in zone 6B7A in Pennsylvania. I can still plant here, right, because it's still cold and the ground, certain part of the ground is frozen. So I tested this before, and over here it's okay. So I have my pick, so I'm gonna use my pick to dig my holes, not my shovel but a pick, and plant these maybe in groups of 5 because there's 30 in here, so I will get 6 set of these daffodils over here. And once again, as I always say to you guys, odd numbers are more pleasing on the eyes than even numbers. I'm gonna go ahead and walk around and see where I have these hosta and then put these daffodils around them. All right, friends, I used my pick there and I went 6 inches or so in here, and this is behind the hosta. So as always, pointy side up, flat side down. I have several videos on my channel where I share with you how I plant my bulbs. Friends, it is cold, okay? It is cold, but guess what? Don't think about it, just do it. You think about it and you never would do it, right? That's what I always say. If ever you have something you don't want to do, don't even think about it, just do it. So that's 4. Okay, so here we have 5 right there. So these guys would come up around behind the hosta. So when the hosta beautiful foliage is unfolding, it will hide these unsightly, as I like to say, foliage from the daffodils. And I just use it the same soil, put it back in. Alright, friends, I'm done planting the daffodils, and let me show you my madness here. So I got twigs from in the back and I just put them around here. As I said to you before, I do this just to deter the squirrels, and I use my white rock method. So I know I planted something here, right? Because I'm telling you, as gardeners, we plant a lot of different plants and sometimes we don't even remember. And then these are some hosta I got on clearance. I think I shared these with you. They're just in the pots there, so I'll transplant them in the garden in spring. So let's go on down here and let me show you what else I did. And here we have more daffodils right in between here. And then, friends, this was an old one I did, and you could see it's not disturbed. The squirrels left it alone. So I'm just sharing with you what method I use, and it actually works. And talk about winter interest. Look at these fun. Yes, I have maybe 6 over here, and look at that, all green and giving me some winter interest. So once again, I always encourage you guys to think about winter, not just beautiful blooms in spring, summer and fall, but also winter interest in your garden. When I'm in my dining room and I look over here, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's some green going on here. So it brings some happiness to me just to see some green and not just the dead plants looking at you, right? And then this is another batch from a few weeks ago, and you could see right here, the squirrels did not get my bulbs. So that's my point here, using twigs and different methods. You can use leaves, but it's very windy, so sometimes the wind will blow the leaves. But if you do leaves, put twigs on top. You need something heavy on top. Or if you just want the twigs, just do twigs. And you can find twigs everywhere, right? They're free, they're everywhere. And this is another batch I just did with you guys. Same thing I did. I have a lot of pine trees in my yard, so this was on the ground, so I just put it there. Made my setup here from the squirrels. And look at the iris, friends. I think next year I have to come in and divide this out. It's been here for a few years now and I need to divide it. But look at the green on there. And then here we go again, telling you about winter interest. Another fun stained green, right? And over here, another batch of the daffodils I just did. And I just did like a curve, just sweep it like a curve here, and I just put a ton of them here. As I said to you before, when the hosta foliage starts to come up, it will hide out the daffodil foliage in the back. And over here too, friends, I'll get to see some colors, especially I get to see this side from in my dining room when I look outside. So that's why I'm like, oh, let me put the daffodils over here. And here we have another fern, winter interest also. Definitely next year I'm gonna be looking for more fern because I love that it stay green all year through. Even we had our first frost, they do not die back. They're what you call evergreen, right? Like your arborvitaes, they stay green in the winter time. But anyway, friends, I just wanted to plant these daffodil bulbs with you. I'm gonna go ahead and plant the tulips, but I'll just put them in the ground. I planted a lot of tulips with you guys before, but I just wanted to share like a tip with how you can plant daffodils in certain areas of your garden, especially if you don't want them to go in your regular garden, right? Because as I said before, they become unsightly. Oh, friends, here's another tip for you, and I shared this with you before. If you have daffodils and you have to plant them in between your garden because of just the space you have in your garden, when those blooms are done blooming, what you can do, you cut back the spent flower. Do not cut down the plant or remove the foliage because it will ruin the bulbs for next year, especially if you're in the colder zones like myself, and your daffodils will return for you. What you can do, what I do with my daffodils in the other part of the garden, I use a rubber band and I made a ponytail like from the foliage of the daffodils, and I fold it neatly, and I just take the rubber band and wrap it around like you would do with your hair, right? So let me so I could demonstrate on this fern. Okay, fern, you're gonna be able to test plant. So if this is the daffodil foliage after it's bloomed, so what I do, I clip off just the head so there's no seed going on to the top for the spent bloom, and I will gently turn it down like this. I have to be careful because I can't break my fern here. I will gently turn the foliage like this and get a rubber band and just wrap it around the foliage so it's not sticking up and looking all like a hot mess in your garden. That's what I do, and it looks neat. Anyway, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I just wanted to share with you my beautiful daffodils to my collection. I think I would say daffodils and alliums, they're my favorite spring flowers. But friends, I can't wait to see these double mix blooms on here. Just look at this, friends, absolutely gorgeous. But anyways, let me go plant the tulips I have and get inside because it is freezing. It is. All right, friends, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.